What story are you telling yourself right now? All right, that is the question to ask yourself because the truth is, there is a story that you are telling. There is a story that I told myself that stopped me from writing my book, that slowed me down from doing what I knew I was called to do. And this entire conversation that me and you are about to have, okay, because I'm going to be in your head right now, is we're going to talk about the 6 mindset shifts that are going to help you write your book. It's going to help you understand the story you're telling yourself, the limiting beliefs that you have, and how to shatter them. Okay. This is game time. I want you to understand something here. Okay. We all have our doubts, our insecurities, our limiting beliefs. Okay. We all have them. I had them, you have them, and every author that I've ever helped write a book has had some form of doubt, insecurity, worry, or limiting belief or story that they have told themselves that has prevented them from being the author identity that they need to be in order to write the book. All right. And we're going to break down all these different 6 for you. So I want to ask you a question and I want you to be real with yourself. Okay. I want you to be real with yourself. Do you allow your doubts? Do you allow your worries? Do you allow your insecurities to stop you? Or do you use these doubts, worries, and insecurities as reasons to keep pushing forward? What story are you telling yourself? All right, I'm jumping up and down. I'm hyped. What story is stopping you from writing your book? What is truly getting in the way of your greatness? Why don't you believe that you can do this? Why are you afraid? You're just writing. Why are you afraid? What are the thoughts in your mind that are preventing you from achieving your dream life? Okay, whether it's writing a book or whether it's going from 0 to 6, 6, 7, 7, 8 figures, there are mindset shifts that need to happen. And what we're going to do right now is we're going to shatter 6 mindset shifts so that you can feel more confident and so you can break through the doubt that is stopping you from writing the book you know you are called to create for whatever reason. If you want to write a book because you want to make an impact, great. If you want to write a book because you want to leave a legacy, great. If you want to write a book because you want to be a speaker, great. If you want to write a book because you want to be a coach, great. If you want to write a book to get lead gen, great. Whatever your reason is, don't let one of these mindset shifts stop you from telling your story, from impacting the people that need your message. Okay? So let's get into it. Number 1, and the most common one that we hear all day long for nonfiction books is I don't have time. The mindset says, I don't have time. I run a family. I run a business. I'm too busy. I have other things going on. But here's the truth about this, okay? Contrary to the popular belief, you do not need to give up everything you are currently doing in order to write your book. Okay. You do not need to go lock yourself in a cabin in the woods and come back years later with your manuscript. You do not need to slave over this book and write 5, 6, 7 hours a day to get this done. That is not the norm. That is not the way you have to do for this book. You can write your book in an hour a day. Many of our authors even finish their rough draft in 30 days. And they get to the final portion of AKA launching to bestseller within a 6-month time frame. All right. It can be quicker than you think. If you want to see more about this, I did a whole challenge on how I could write and launch a book in 90 days or less called Project Bestseller. And there's weekly recaps of that if you really want to see all the in-depth. But the gist is this. I spent 87 days on Big Idea to Bestseller. 21 of those days, I did not work. Okay. Because of holidays, weekends, or just being with my family. And when I say work, I don't mean work on the business. I mean, I just didn't work on the book. So 66 days I spent working on my book, and the total time it took me to go from start to finish to create a best-selling book that was 35,000 words. I'll explain that in a minute. I spent 57 hours and 52 minutes. I spent less than most people work in an entire week on my book that created a great book, high quality book, professionally published book that generated a ton of clients. Okay. I spent on average over those 66 days, 52.6 minutes. My rough draft took me 17 days to write. The rough draft was 32,000 words. I had the book done by day 62 and I launched it day 87. I don't have time. That is something that you are telling yourself because either you don't have enough information to know how to do it faster, or you are unsure if it is actually a priority. Because if something is really, truly important to you, you will make the time to execute. Do you tell your baby that you just aren't changing their diaper when they shit all over the place? No, you change a diaper. Do you not take a sales call if someone is ready to give you money? No, of course not. You make time for that. Do you decide not to eat for days at a time because you're just too busy? No, we make time for the things that are important to us. And when we have the right information of how long it's going to take, what is the process, you're going to be able to move faster. And when you combine having the right information to know what you're actually supposed to do, mixed with the fact that you make this a priority, there's nothing that can stop you. I don't have time. Nothing that can stop you. All right, let's get into the second one that we hear all the time, and that's this. I am not a writer. All right, this is a story that people tell themselves all the time. This was me, okay? I was like, I'm not a writer. I didn't go to college for this. I just am a dude with a message, okay? But let me make something very, very clear from the onset, okay? Let me make something very, very clear from the onset. Your message that you want to share, your lessons, your story, your message, that is bigger than you identifying as a writer. The truth of the matter is this: you don't have to identify as a writer, but what you do have to understand is that your message in the form of writing a book makes you a writer, okay? The other thing to know is there's more than one way to write and launch a book these days. You could write your book. You could have someone else interview and ghostwrite your book. That's a service we offer as well. You can speak your book and get it transcribed. So even if you don't like writing, well, let me ask you this. Do you believe you have something worth sharing? Do you want to have a book? If so, yes, you can do it. There are other ways. Again, the more information you have, the less these worries can take over and stop you from doing the thing that you actually want to do. Now, let me ask a couple questions. And if you're listening, nod your head on these, right? Have you helped yourself transform? You can write a book. Have you helped somebody else get a result that they desire? You can write a book. Have you ever felt compelled to share a message? You can write a book. Look, folks, it's called a best-selling book, not a best-written book. I'm not the best writer in the world, but you better believe that my message to me is important enough to put it in the form of a book to help somebody else. All right? If you want to impact someone based on your skills, your knowledge, or your experience, you have more than enough to share, and you are more than deserving to share that, and you are worthy to share that because your message is bigger than your identity as a writer. Okay? Let's move on to number 3. I just realized how fired up I'm getting on this episode, and I don't know what it is, but I'm fired up. I hope you're feeling that energy because there's just something I'm really passionate about, and that's making sure that these doubts, these things don't stop you anymore. All right, these are the mindset shifts. I'm not a writer. No, I have a message, and I'm going to share it through the form of a book, okay? The message is bigger than the writing identity, all right? Let's go to number 3. I don't know where to begin. The mindset shift of I don't know where to begin. Well, here's what you got to do. Start with what you know. Start with what you live. Start with what you experience. All right. Focus on your skills, your knowledge, your expertise. What have you gone through? What are your skills? What do people ask you about? Start here. Okay. If you're using a book to grow your business, start with what your business is, or start with what you want the business to be based on the things you've already done. All right. And then why people say, I don't know where to begin is because they start writing right away because they think, oh, I'm going to write a book. So they start writing. No, the first place is not to start writing. The first place is to acquire the roadmap. And this is what I wish I would have had when I first started writing. Okay, I wish I would have had a very clear roadmap. All right. The next is find and identify the big idea. Okay. Sometimes people just start writing about something that they think, and then they get a chapter or 2 or even 3 chapters in. They're like, I don't have anything else to say. I'm not really passionate about this. I don't really know why I thought this would be the book idea. And maybe they're right, or maybe they just don't have the right process to understand how to elaborate on that idea to make it in the format of a book. The other thing is, I don't know where to begin. Well, look, invest in the process. Invest in a coach. All right. If you don't know where to begin, guess what? There's people like me and tons of other people who can tell you exactly what to do and when to do it. Look, if you come to our program, I can tell you exactly, here's what you're going to do month 1. All right, let's get clarity. Let's get started. Let's create your outline. Here's what you're going to do in month 2, month 3, month 4, month 5, month 6. Here's how you're going to launch your book. And we can take you step by step so you don't have to think about it. So I don't know where to begin. That's just something we tell ourselves because again, we don't either have enough information, which is why you listen to this podcast or why you read my book, Big Idea to Bestseller. If you haven't gotten that book, you absolutely should. 99 cents on Amazon. Okay. But I don't know where to begin. Let's shift that to I know where to begin. And that starts with going to the right places, doing the right research, investing in and trusting the process. Okay. Let's eliminate the lack of knowledge that you may possess around book writing and find somebody who can guide you in that process. Number 4. All right. This is one of the big things that I hear people talk about too all the time is, who am I to write the book? Am I successful enough? Have I done enough to warrant me writing a book? Now, let me tell you something first of all. Okay. There's a few different approaches here, but let me tell you something first of all. I was a 22-year-old assistant with less than 1 year of work experience, and I wrote a career development book that got featured in syllabi across the country at colleges, sparked a 6-figure speaking career, and led me to being a bestseller. Who was I to write that book? Technically, on paper, not the person to do it, but who was I to write this book? I was a person that had a message. I was a person that had something to share. I was a person that was 1 to 2 steps ahead of the person I was trying to help. Okay? So screw the haters. This is the other thing is, who am I to write the book? We're worried about the judgment, the haters, the people talking about us, the people questioning, who are you to write the book? Well, guess what? Screw them. All right? When I wrote my first book, a lot of my friends were like, what the heck are you doing? Like, why do you think you're qualified to write a book? And I said, I don't know if I am, but you better believe I want to help somebody. And one of the best ways that I know I could help somebody right now, and one of my dreams in my life, is to write a book. So now, cross off the book off a bucket list, and I get to help people? Come on, that's too good. All right, let me leave you with this for this one. All right, who am I to write a book? Let me leave you with this one. You are not new to results. You are just new to delivering those results via a message in a book. Let me repeat that again. You are not new to results. You are just new to delivering those results via a book. All right, this is a big, mind-blowing breakthrough for a lot of people, okay? Many people come to us, they have a business, they've delivered results, they've had their own transformation, they've coached other people on that transformation, maybe they've made money doing that. Well, guess what? You've gotten the results, you know what to do, you are the person that can help somebody. You just haven't done it in a book. Number 5, there are already a million books on my topic, so who's going to read my book? Well, I'll say something true that maybe you think would be against what I would go with right now. There are probably a lot of books on your topic. All right. There are books on how to write and launch books before I wrote mine. There were career development books before I did that. There were networking books. There were entrepreneurship books. But guess what? Those books aren't yours. Those books don't have your stories, your knowledge, your process, your experience, your transformations in it. There is someone out there right now who needs your book in your voice. People need what you have to share. Let's take this even one step further. A lot of people come to me and they say, Jake, there's already so many books on my topic. I can name you 5 world-renowned experts that have written a book on sales or real estate or finance. Okay? People have read Rachel Hollis. People have read Jenna Kutcher. People have read Lewis Howes, Ed Mylett, Tony Robbins. But guess what? For them, it has not stuck. Those books has not resonated with the readers. Sure, it's maybe helped them. And so here's the thing. People are waiting for a new way of thinking. People are waiting for a new voice. People are waiting for the right time to receive the right information. Okay? Plus, people get information from different people. A book is not a zero-sum game. You don't read one book and therefore you can't read another. As a matter of fact, anytime I read one book on a particular topic, I will likely dive deeper into that topic to get a better understanding to see who I resonate the most with. Let me give you an example on that. I've read The Power of Habit, Atomic Habits, Tiny Habits, High Performance Habits. Guess what? I've gotten value from all 4 of those books. Who's to say you can't write a habit book? And guess what? All 3 of those books, I think, were out before the Atomic Habits book. Okay? And maybe my timeline's off right there, but my point of this is this. People want what you have to say. They want to hear it in a different way. And so are there a lot of books on your topic? Probably. But what you have to say is important. And if you don't give these people your book, I believe that's a little bit selfish. You holding back your experiences, your knowledge that you know can help somebody? Isn't the whole point you want to do this because you want to help somebody? So wouldn't it make sense that you want to write your book? Number 6, let's go here. This is the last one of today. This mindset that I don't have enough to say to write my entire book. People come to me all the time, Jake, like, how many words do I need to make? Oh gosh, that's a lot of words. I don't know if I could do that. Well, let me give you an example here, okay? Because I believe you probably have more than one book inside of you, all right? I believe you probably have more than one book inside of you. So let's break it down. If you're to write a 25,000 word book, okay, that is 125 social posts of 200 words. I can go online and look at almost every person's Instagram and see that they've written more than 25,000 words via captions, via stories, via whatever it is that I see on their social profiles. But they say, I can't write 25,000 words. No, you just have never written 25,000 words in this format, but you can. You've written a lot more than that. A 30,000 word book, let's give a different example. If you have 20 blog posts that are about 1,500 words, that's a 30,000 word book. Okay, that's a 30,000 word book. Now, I want to make something very clear as we're giving these examples. I'm not saying that a book is just 20 blog posts at 15,000 words packaged together. There can be some of that in there. And I'm not saying that a book is just 125 social posts with 200 word captions. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is that you've already written the amount that fills a book. It's just packaged differently. Or a 40,000 word book. The average person speaks about 150 words per minute. Now, there's no way I speak at that. I probably speak exponentially faster than that. But let's say you're an average speaker and you talk 150 words per minute. If you talk for an hour, that's 9,000 words. If you talk for 4 hours, that's 36,000 words. So if you are about 4 hours worth of talking, you could write a 36,000 word book. Are you starting to see that you have plenty to say? Because I know for a fact that if you're listening to this right now, you have talked about your experience. You've talked about what you've gone through. You've talked about what you know and how it can help somebody for more than 4 hours. I bet you that if you looked at your course or your coaching method, you've coached somebody for more than 4 hours teaching them what to do. Yeah, exactly. I bet you if I asked you to tell me a story, your story or a story of someone else about their results, doing the thing you aim to teach them in the book, I bet you could talk and spit out a bunch of words right there. Yeah. So look, you've already written, you've already spoken, you've already captioned multiple books. All we're doing is delivering it in a different way. So let's recap here. Here are the 6 mindset shifts and the stories that we need to shift. We need to stop telling us these stories. We need to create the new story, create the new narrative, and write the dang book. And here are the 6. I don't have time. Yes, you do. You have time. Number 2, I'm not a writer. You don't have to be a great writer. You have to be a great deliverer of a message, baby. Number 3, I don't know where to begin. Yes, you do. You know where to go get the process. You can make that decision to invest in yourself. Start with what you know. Number 4, who am I to write a book? Well, you are the person who can produce results for somebody else. That's who you are. Somebody needs your book in your voice. Number 5, there are already a million books in your topic. Yeah, but they aren't your books. And number 6, I don't have enough to say to write an entire book. Yes, you do. I hope that you are feeling the shift right now, just like I am. I'm fired up right now. I hope that you are feeling this shift. And if you're feeling this shift and you want to shatter these beliefs, if you want to reframe the story, if you want to improve the mindset and become the author that you know you are capable of becoming, if you want to become the author that I know you are capable of becoming, let me know that this episode resonated with you, and we'll make sure that we get you to the next step. All right, I want to see you make this book happen. I believe in you, and I hope that you enjoyed these 6 mindset shifts. I'll talk to you next time.